You are listening to podcast Big House Small Talk.
Hi, this is Sherwin. So today, welcome to our first episode of Big Houses Small Talk. So the objective of this podcast is actually to understand the person staying behind the home, because nowadays I see, right, there's a lot of home tours that just introduce the home itself, but I'm more curious about the person staying in and the decisions that they make in the house, right, that led them to become who they are, or what they will do in the future. So our first episode, right, I'm actually very honored to invite a multiple MDRT winner from Great Eastern, that is dedicated team leader, leads a team of more than 10 people, and he will be our first guest for the podcast. So let us introduce Samuel, that will answer my questions and be my test subject for the first episode lah. Okay, so Samuel, I've known Samuel personally for like more than 20 years already, coming to 20 I believe, and it's very surprising the road he takes, because he's a financial advisor and I'm a property agent, which are two of the most hated but most required job in Singapore lah, because a lot of people don't really like a salesperson. So Samuel, for you, where do you currently stay at now?
Currently I stay at Ghim Moh Link, which is slightly outskirts of the Ghim Moh Market. So slightly across the drain, the newer BTOs over there.
Okay.
So I've been there since 2018.
Oh, okay. So usually our topic, right, what I envision is I will go to his house and shoot like a home tour or some B-roll of his house. But because his house is very messy, we will just put a few photos here. After that, he go home and we just insert a few photos here so that everybody can see where the house is at or the house condition. So is this your first home or your first home?
This is my first home. We got it as a sale of balance on 2018. So the process was quite fast. We applied the flat in 2017, I think August. October, we got our queue number.
Okay.
March, we selected our flat. May, we renovated. Then by 2018, June, we moved in.
So I can say that it was not a very thought out process lah.
Actually, it is a thought out process.
Because you
No. So initially our intention was to BTO, but then we couldn't get it because both our parents stay in Redhill and Queenstown, so we wanted to be near. So in 2017, we said this will be our last attempt to getting a sale of balance.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wanted a place of our own first.
Before you
before we think of starting a family
Okay.
Yeah, so we said this is our last attempt, and in our thought process, we decided that why not start with a 3-room flat first, because the odds of getting the flat is probably the highest That's why we applied a 3-room sale of balance in around Buona Vista, Ghim Moh.
So how many times did you try to BTO, or how long was the process before you actually gotten the one at Ghim Moh now?
About 3 years of non-stop. Almost every application we had, we applied. Yeah, then there was one stupid mistake we did We applied sale of balance at a 5-room flat in Queenstown. The ratio I think was 1:50, so there's only one unit with 50 people applying
But given a chance again, will you still do the same?
I wouldn't have done that.
So you straight away apply for a 3-room?
Apply for 3-room flat first, because we wanted our house fast and BTO is probably the cheapest option the lowest cost option with a very decent living condition at a very good location at that time.
Okay, so you have been staying there for the past 4 to 5 years
next
already.
year will be fifth year MOP
So any plans of like upgrading or changing flats?
Yes. So in 2020 October, I became a dad So
okay.
Yeah, so space is the biggest consideration because my baby learned how to walk in the corridor.
Like the common corridor.
Common corridor is dirty. Fall down, the hand will be black, and at home, if they walk around, they will knock the chair, knock the table, knock the sofa, pull things here and there. So space is really the major consideration. So that it's almost no choice that we will have to shift because right now ours is a 3-room flat. So 2 bedrooms. Bedroom is for sleeping. Our second room is almost like a working space, a partial storeroom. Almost nothing can be used for the baby there. So really no choice, really had to shift.
So the next move is more because of need like a baby, a bigger space, not so much of because you make money from the property. You want to capitalize profit from that.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with my wife before the baby. They say if if we were not to start a family, I think location wise and we will be very happy staying there for the long term. Yeah, because our installment is probably 1,000 a month.
Oh, okay.
Which is combined, which is very, very comfortable. And location is great. It's slightly outskirts of Holland V lah, so not too crowded also.
Okay, understand.
So it's more for the baby lah, it's not for us lah.
Then, if given a choice, wouldn't like, if go back like 5 years wouldn't you like try for a 4-room resale or even bigger resale flat in the same area? Then you don't need to move again and again.
That will be our my current house would be the last attempt that we do sale of balance.
Okay.
Yeah, if we don't get it, it's likely a HDB or condo. But luckily we never reached that stage because we managed to get our sale of balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you growing up, what's your definition of home, or what is a must-have for home? Okay. So growing up, maybe I share a bit. I grew up a Redhill 5-room flat. I used to stay in Bukit Merah, but that period I think I was too young to remember anything lah. So Redhill 5-room flat, the living room was huge. And we could play. I have two brothers. I'm the middle child. We play soccer there. We are able to paste things on the wall to make it a basketball court, and then we play there. We run around. There's a lot of space. Yeah. So that was space, having a lot of space in the living room. That was my growing up years lah. So moving into a smaller flat, there is a little bit restrictive. Yeah, and even more restrictive right now with a kid. Okay, so that's why you always think that a bigger flat feels more like home as compared to a smaller one.
Correct. It feels very unnatural lah when suddenly from a 5-room flat with huge living room moving into a 3-room
They
flat.
have a term for that. They call it minimalist.
That's a nice way to put it lah, but it's just no space.
Yeah, I think a lot of Singaporeans face this problem because as a real estate agents, right, a lot of my clients, their first consideration is size. A lot of them move out from their condos or their EC to HDB just because they want a bigger space. So the top priority is not so much of profit making or whatever. It's more of really having a place that feels like home, where you can grow your family, where your child can grow up to be a wonderful person and stuff like this, which I feel it's a point that is very overlooked, but something that is close to every Singaporean's heart.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's for us. So one thing common, right, that property agent and financial advisors have is we are very, we feel that retirement is a very important concept. But of course, a lot of people out there, they feel that this is just a sales gimmick because everything we sell or we ask people to purchase is like, hey, retirement, zumbo, always retirement. But how important do you think retirement is in this age and time compared to our parents' generation?
Okay. So to answer this question, maybe retirement is a guarantee lah. We definitely have to retire someday one. So the thing about retirement is in our parents' generation, generally, I mean from a financial portfolio perspective, our parents' generation, likely their portfolio consists of cash in the bank and property. Or maybe a second property. That is probably all of their net worth. Yeah, and there are days, right? I mean, you as a property agent, you will know lah. The profit from a property purchase and a sale eventually is in multiples, on 2 times, double, my triple, 4 times, 5 times. They can retire with that kind of portfolio management. Just buy property, sell property, buy sell, and then eventually downgrade, you got a lot of cash. Yeah, so and in maybe 20, 30 years or even 40 years ago, in general, as long as you buy a property, it's very difficult to not earn money from it. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. In our days,
a blind person, like close eye, just
anyhow, but you got money, you just buy, you definitely earn money. And it's earned on multiples, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So that's for their generation. Our generation, retirement sometimes might seem for our age it might seem too far away. Don't plan so fast just wait for it to happen and then we'll see how. That can work for our parents' generation because of the property that they have. In our generation, probably very difficult. Yeah, so it will seem very daunting for somebody in their 20s and 30s to start planning for retirement. Yeah, especially so, and right now maybe the expectations of standard of living is a lot higher than last time. We probably want to enjoy life as it is, YOLO, and
go Bangkok,
go and go Siam Diu, all these lah. So retirement planning is not their top priority. It's nowhere close to their top priority. Yeah, so that's why it's our job. It's our job to educate them the importance of planning for it and also the steps to reach there. Yeah, because without the small steps, right, the general concept is, no need, never mind, it will happen eventually, then I see how. But retirement planning is not overnight. It will take maybe 10, 15, 20 or even 30 years to slowly take your baby steps. Yeah, if not, it will reach the point where, let's say you're in your 50s and then you really say, forget it, if I retire, I'm going to work with what I have. So it will not be your ideal retirement lifestyle. Yeah, that is the part where people, I feel that if they don't plan early, they tend to just give up on planning for it and just whatever if it happens, it happens. Which is definitely not the case.
I feel for our generation, because we're the same age, one term which I hold very close to my heart is called the sandwich generation. Last time our parents, the retirement plan is just 表囝 and have a lot of kids, like MLM plan. So I have 7 kids, like my grandparents, they got 7 kids or 8 kids, all the siblings. Every month, everyone come with $500. 8 kids is 4,000 already. Retirement 搞定. But nowadays, we are so-called trapped because we do not have that much siblings. So the source of income is limited. What happens if you are the only child? Then on top of that, right, you only have 1 kid or no kid policy. So for you only have 1 kid now. So next time the the liability to take care, especially for Asians family, is always the kids taking care of the parents. Then why sandwich generation? Because you are the one shouldering the burden of not just yourself, your kids' financials. Like they say, you go university, go overseas and study, and your parents' retirement as they age, the medical bills will go up. So all the stress will fall into us at this generation. So if we don't look at retirement as something that's important, so the future is who will take care of us? Do we want to have the same burden for our kids in the future? So retirement is not so much for us, just entirely for us, because ultimately we don't want our next generation, right, to have that financial burden that 我每个月赚8000块，我还要拿2000块出来照顾我的父母。Then they are stuck in a life where maybe I cannot spend so much to lead the life I want. So I feel retirement is a responsibility that everybody should have. Start thinking early, like how do I take care of myself in future so I do not cause financial burden on the rest of the people around me. That is why retirement is not so much of having 2 million, 3 million to retire. It's more of not causing that burden on my future generation. So this is what I feel and what I usually advocate to my clients in terms of planning. So this is for me.
Actually, to echo that, generally this is what I call an informed decision. If you say, fine, I have considered all these things, in future I am okay to burden my child, then sure, please proceed. But it cannot be, I don't think about what can happen in future, I just whatever, and then if it happens, whoever is around take care of me. If I'm dead and there's debt, there's medical bills, you all settle yourself out. Either way, I'm not around. Yeah, I think that shouldn't be the thought process when it comes to building your retirement portfolio. Everything must be thought through. All the consequences, all must be an informed decision. If that is good, it's my job to educate you. It's your job to make the decision. Yeah, so I think that is what we as financial advisors, we go out and tell people, this is what you need to do. These are the consequences. Are you okay with it? If no, let's do something. If you're okay with it, sure, let's work on other things. Since you got more resources to do other things right now.
So for just 离题一下子. So for this is something that I find it very amusing. So last time people call property agent. So now we call property agent as asset progression, asset strategies, and asset whatsoever. So for insurance agent is the same. Our parent generation, we call them as insurance agent. But now you all start to rebrand yourself as a financial advisor. Is it like a gimmick? Why is it so?
Okay, actually, that title is actually given by the insurance company. Okay, last time we used to be called insurance agents / life planners, right? It's because last time the range of services that we can offer is only limited to insurance. Okay, your hospital bills, your cancer claims, your CI claims, your death claims, your disability claims. because of the demands from the market, right? Now, let's say for you, you probably don't want to speak to one insurance agent, one investment portfolio, one safe asset manager. You probably want one person to deal with all the things. Yeah, so right now, actually, the services that we can provide, not only is it insurance, we can do investments, we can do your tax planning, we can do your mortgage advisory, we can also do this thing called your estate planning. Okay, meaning eventually when you pass on, how you want to distribute your assets. So that's why everything together is what we call portfolio management already. So that's why right now in our official name card is really called financial consultant.
No.
Yeah, so it's because of the changes of service, the increase in services that we can provide. That's why we changed name. That is an official title, but then when it comes to marketing and branding, we have wealth specialists and blah 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 blah. Those is their own, the way they brand
So
themselves.
essentially they do the same thing lah, but it's just that how you sell your product, what you feel is the best for the clients.
Or what do you want to be known for? Some people they call it estate planning specialist, but actually it's still just the whole range, just that you decide to focus on the estate planning side lor.
One thing I'm very curious because I know you for 20 over years already. You're not the outgoing or the kind of like to go and talk to people, entertain, and you study engineering as your degree. So 为什么一个大学生会跑去卖保险 like why? Like this is the why, because your grades have always been good. So my conception is what I think is you cannot study well but you talk very well and you socialize very well, then you go and do sales, real estate or insurance. So why did you 自甘堕落?
Okay, maybe this one need to go back a bit of history. So generally all the way until JC, my grades has been pretty decent. Okay, then I was good in maths and physics. That's why I thought I was a born engineer. But my grades in uni, quite bad. Quite bad. I mean, it's okay, but it's nowhere near good. It's nowhere near good. So last time I always make this joke. When my mom used to ask how's my results in uni. I would say, 不用紧啊，考不好去买保险咯。Because my father runs a pub previously. My dad, my brother is a property agent. So 讲爸爸卖酒，哥哥卖屋子，我就卖保险咯。Yeah, so it's a joke which I always tell my mom when they ask about my results. So that's the backstory. And like you say, I mean we have secondary school secondary school, right? Yeah, sec 1 we met. Yeah, I'm not really that sociable. I can be quite socially awkward in a big group setting. So what got me started is actually, okay, I got to know my current manager in hall. Okay, he was the coach for our handball team.
Okay.
I was the player. So that is when we met So actually since year 1 or year 2, he has been asking me to join. But then last time I was busy Okay, my major sport is basketball So I've been active in sports all the way only after all the major competitions ended in year 4. Then I had that conversation with my current boss about actually what does this career entails. Yeah, so ultimately after it was close to 8 months back and forth. Whether should I join, should I not, what do I need to do, what should I be informed about. But eventually it ended up into these few things So firstly I wanted control over my income and control over my career progression. Yeah, in an employed ecosystem, you can't move. There are some restrictions to how fast you can move
You can pour.
Yes, but if no matter how much you pour, if let's say you were to go to a government, there's still a standard time frame for you to move So that is what I didn't like. So being merit driven, I think maybe from a sports background I think if I'm good, I probably want to move a bit faster. Yeah, so control of income, control of progression is one. It can also mean if I want to slow down, I can. Yeah, so we when my baby was born for about 2 to 3 weeks, I think I had the luxury to really slow down for that. Even 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months, the luxury to really slow down and be at home. So that is one. Secondly, I think the flexibility of time is what I really appreciate So okay, but do not to set expectations. Flexibility of time versus free time is two different things. Yeah, I can plan my time.
So your free time is maybe 30 minutes lah, but how you plan around is very flexible.
Yes,
This is what
yes,
salesperson means.
Yes, they do think that insurance agent OT, wake up at 10 a.m. rubbish. I still wake up very early. I end my day very late. Just that I can plan how I do things lah, and I can also pursue my hobbies lah, like play ball. I still few years ago I still attempt to actively play competitive in basketball. I still go back to my hall games to my hall to do coaching. But it's a hobby. Yeah, so that's that. And job nature, I think, okay, when I first joined, it was told to me that I can impact a lot of lives. Okay, by helping them. If they need to go hospital, I can settle their bills. When they have somebody in their family members got some medical condition, there's money given out to them to at least manage the financial stress part. Yeah, but only after I joined, then I really feel the impact of what my boss actually meant. Yeah, over my career, this is my 7th year in the career already. I think the amount of claims I paid out is in the hundreds of thousands in medical bills only. Yeah, it's really 50,000 go, 60,000 go, 80,000 go, 30,000 go. Yeah, actually the odds of people going to surgery is not say odds. Okay, let me rephrase. The people going to surgery is actually a lot more than what you think.
So going surgery in a person's lifetime is confirmed, but having the money to pay is not confirmed.
Yeah, and they don't publicize. Say, hey, I'm going for surgery, But actually there are a lot of small claims, 5,000, 10,000. Big claims are 100,000, 50,000.
But is there like a particular claim that really makes you think that我真的有帮到人? It's really something that you feel that I impacted, like your job is meaningful, your job is fulfilling. It's not just about the commission.
Parents' mother got cancer, in and out hospital, in and out. Everything claim. So at least, I would say at least insurance is able to remove the financial stress lah. Okay, then that leaves you a lot more space to worry about other things. I think when somebody touch wood has cancer or is in for a big major surgery, right? Money is probably the financial stress is probably the easiest to remove. And then you go and worry about other things. There's a lot more things to worry about than money. Yeah, so that is probably the biggest. Yeah, in and out government A hospital in and out probably 60,000-70,000 easily
So there's a saying 有钱不能带给你幸福，但是有钱可以让你舒服。Do you agree? Like in insurance term because
insurance term.
It remove the financial stress which is true If you can just 100% focus on taking care of whoever is ill or whoever is sick, you don't have to worry about where the next lump sum will come, who will be paying it. Then it alleviates a lot of things Then you are able to spend more time with your loved one.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to be stressed over unnecessary stuff So I feel insurance is still a very, very, very meaningful job.
Maybe I can add one more thing before I became a parent, right? Okay, there are some there are some people who say, if 我中 cancer 死就死咯, doesn't matter don't be a burden, just tell doctor don't treat me, blah blah blah. Insurance no need buy, die just die, easy no need to spend money. After I became a father, right, then I think having that option to treat yourself, right, can really make a difference between between holding your daughter's hand and walking down the aisle when she gets married. For all those parents out there, I give you an option. If you have kids at home and you are suffering from a major cancer that requires a major surgery, and your daughter is holding your hand and say, hey, Papa, please, I'm gonna get married next year. Are you able to tong until then? I dare you to look in your daughter's eyes and say, it's okay. Don't need to treat me, I can die. I dare you to say that. Yeah, if you have the money to, at least you have the option to choose. But I don't want to put you in a position where you say, Papa 没有钱. Yeah, Papa 不要买 insurance, that's why 没有钱. I mean, this is the very literal way of saying it Yeah, but at least like what I said earlier, at least it must be an informed decision They already decided that this is happening and I'm willing to say this to my daughter. So in future it's okay. If you're willing to do it, then sure. But if you have not considered it, then I think do consider it before making a call. It's only after I became a dad, then I have such thoughts.
So another options I have for everyone out there is to be like me, don't have kids, so that you don't need to walk down the aisle with your daughter or whoever. But that is for me It works. So far, so good. Not sure about my wife, but we'll get to that lah. So, you started your career for like almost 7 years already. So, was it tough? Were there expectations? Like, were your parents supportive? Were your like wife to be your wife supportive? And how long did it take until you finally realized that, oh, this is a stable job, I can have some income?
Okay, so remember when I first wanted to join this career, I mean, we had a group chat, me, you, and
Some introvert,
some introvert. We had a group chat. Both of y'all were psychoing me to not be an insurance agent.
Oh, I cannot remember.
Yeah, so, okay, I think my second option apart from being a financial advisor, right, it's almost my most practical career, is to become a PE teacher and then take a basketball CCA.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be probably a very good life for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because because I'm not really that outgoing. I'm sometimes quite socially awkward. I don't perform. I don't feel comfortable in big group setting. Yeah, so that was probably the biggest challenge I had when I first started the career. I have a lot of hi-bye friends. We know each other, we say hi, we smile. I have a lot of friends that, apart from the basketball team, opponents on court, usually say hi, we know who is each other. Probably that's it. So my network, I know people, but the level of connections I have with the people actually is very, 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 very shallow and very, very small. Yeah, so that was the biggest challenge that I had when I first started. But thankfully what I did right was, I think over the years in playing competitive sports, right, I was very committed and I was very serious. Yeah, and my attitude towards training and competition was very, very good lah. So I think people around me could see that behavior consistently since I started playing ball. So I think that helped in people giving me that trust that, hey, Samuel is not going in, is not anyhow jumping into this industry and then try to figure things out. Yeah, so I think that helped me in reconnecting with friends. But then it was still took a bit of time for me to really reconnect with my old friends. So I joined in 2015 August. My start was slow. I didn't clear my rookie awards in the first year. Yeah, so that was December. But then actually after 6 to 8 months, things were pretty okay. Yeah, things were pretty okay. Income was coming in, things were very stable, and then it grew exponentially from there. Yeah, but it's hard work. It's hard work at the start. It's hard work at the start, yeah.
But one thing very different, because a lot of do sales one, they like to buy like car, buy watch for branding. But why you never buy?
Okay, a bit about my family was decent. I mean, financially we are decent. We had a maid, a 5-room flat. My dad has a car, 3 kids. My uni fees were paid for. It was pretty okay. But we didn't, or at least the upbringing of us is we didn't, or we weren't allowed to spend on luxury. Okay, there was no arcades. Ice cream, I can't remember. I need to beg one. Until a point which I just give up. I don't even ask for ice cream. Tidbits, sweets, all these we don't get. Basketball shoes I get, but it's definitely not the high-end one. It's just able to run is okay. So that was the upbringing that I had. So when I grew up, I just didn't have the desire to buy luxury goods lah. So that was me. And being in this career, I think it might not work as good for my marketing and branding. Because I don't drive a big car in, I don't wear expensive. This is Baby G, because my daughter's name is Gemma, so Baby G. Yeah, things like this. So it might not work as good for my branding, but I think in my job as a financial advisor, right, I want to manage my money well. And like what I always say is, 口袋有钱最重要. Yeah, and that being said, I also need to spend money on building the team. Yeah, so when it comes to priority, right, I think the top 2 will be making sure that my family and me is well taken care of. My group and my agency is well taken care of. At least I have the resources for it. Then the third priority is then all the luxury stuff. And also that is how I manage my own money. But it's up to a preference because, for example, insurance agent, we spend a lot of time on the road. Okay, if you drive a car that is not desirable, why not? I mean, also a bit big take. So things like Spotify, I'll be on the road a long time, so I sign up Spotify. So I can listen to my music. Things like this I like to do. But up to you. Yeah, I think everything, I would say, if you make money, okay, this is advice, not advice, this is a personal opinion. Okay, money not spent is not yours. Yeah, but where you spend is really up to you lah. Yeah.
So all these were instilled from your family upbringing lah. Like, but what about like your manager, like the one that brought you in? Is he like the most important mentor in your entire? Because this is your first job, right? First proper job, like we don't talk about
first full-time job.
Yeah. So does mentorship plays a very big part in sales role, in financial advisor role?
Yeah, I think mentorship is important everywhere you go, regardless of which job you are in. But especially so if you are in a job where it's self-employed. Yeah, because if you don't do well, there's really nothing coming in. Yeah, so I think in my life, there's a few mentors, my basketball coaches over the years, okay, especially my JC and my uni coach. I think in terms of mindset, I think, and in terms of approach to the game, I think it builds the mental capacity on how you grind. I always like to look for sports people in my team because they can understand what is the grind. Okay, they know you can train very hard and still lose. Some people can cry for a night and then come back the next day and train really hard. Some people can cry for a year. Some people even cry for 2 years and give up the sport.
My concept of grinding is very different. My concept of grinding is like the zoop that kind of grind.
I know money to go zoop. Yeah, I know money to go zoop.
Okay,
you take cab, then pay entrance fee, then cab back.
Okay.
Yeah, well, didn't have that luxury. So that's my first few life mentors. And then coming into this business, my boss Ron brought me in, and his boss is Vincent. Both of them were a very good business mentor in terms of how to do things, in terms of how to build my habits, and a lot is mindset lah. You need somebody to help you open up your mind. Once you have that, actually a lot of things you can figure out yourself. Yeah, so that's that. And then lastly, actually my wife is a very good mentor. So yeah, I always say my wife is my most important advisor.
Oh, yeah, I don't feel the same way. Okay lah.
Yeah, so these are the people that impacted me lah, from what I can think now lah. So if for those mentors which I've didn't mention today, right? You are very important. Just that I suddenly cannot remember. Yeah.
Okay, but does it affect because you have a team, does it affect your mentorship style? Like what you demand from your associates? Because sales, financial advisor, property agents, we don't pay our associates an income. So they are not obligated to listen to us. So in a way, it's very different from corporate. Like if you don't work, then you will get fired lor. But for property and financial advisor, the turnover rate is so high. How do you mentor or coach and ensure that everyone will succeed?
Okay. Actually, the very fortunate thing I have, right, is my retention rate in the last 7 years is 100%. Everybody who came on board with me over the last 7 years, they are still here. And then we have about half of the team is the top 20% in Great Eastern.
But COVID, they are not affected because I have a friend that during COVID, right, these past 2 years, right, his team left until really left 1 or 2% only.
Oh, okay. I usually call that what we call learning agility. Okay, when things happen, how do you unlearn and relearn and then react according to the situation? So actually COVID. Actually, that period was probably the breakthroughs of some of my agents.
Oh, okay.
Reason why is because firstly, people are used to doing Zoom, or people are willing to do Zoom appointments. So last time we can only maybe run 3 appointments a day, or 4 is really no time. Now we can really do back-to-back 5, 6, 7 a day. Easy. Yeah, because you don't need to shower. Your clients don't need to shower, travel out, meet you, and then travel home and shower. Yeah, so within an hour you meet one, rest half an hour, you can meet the next one. So bam, just go. That's the first thing. Second thing is when there's crisis, right, it's a good time to invest. Yeah, so when COVID, the market is down, actually the outreach and the responses to find out more actually is very good during COVID lah. So I think a lot of times is okay lah, self-employed lah, it's the mindset lah. Every time when there is crisis, there is always opportunity. So you really have to be the out.
So I would say that your company is praying for the next COVID lah, like COVID 2.0 or 3.0.
Now the bomb 来 bomb 去, COVID still around. Then actually there's a lot of opportunities out here. Yeah. Same for property agents Some people cannot viewing die jialat cannot do end up also do video call rental also settle. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So over your 7 years of career, what's the most important lesson you learn in insurance?
Insurance.
And what is like one advice you would give to yourself, like if you were to start all over again, maybe 7 years ago, like 25 years old, what's the one advice you would have given yourself?
多一个朋友少一个敌人。So I would make more friends out there. I think whether or not I'm in this career, right, having more friends, you will definitely having more friends, you will definitely benefit your life, regardless of which career you go to. Yeah, you need help to repair your car, you need help to buy washing machine, repair your lights, look for a good tuition center. You got more friends, you got a lot more people to reach out to. And that is probably the thing that I will be even more active. Yeah, then I think, and what I will not change, I think I will still continue to be serious in my sport. I think it builds character. It builds character which can lead to many things. Whatever you do, I think the attitude towards doing things even before you start the career, right, it translates over in life. If you're not serious about what you do in life, right, when you come out and work, right, everything is not serious. And one more thing is I might start this career earlier. In this career is what we call fast fish eat the slow fish. Because the some experience that I had is some of my friends, right, who didn't buy from me because they say, oh, actually 2 years ago got an agent asked me already. So I just do and I just stay with the agent. Or if you join earlier, I would have bought it from you. Yeah, so that's from the career perspective.
So this question is a bit redundant based on what you answered previously. If given a choice, would you still be an insurance agent?
Yes, I will be. And the benefits to that is I have even more buffer time to really learn things. Because when you graduate, when you're as a student, the pressure to bring money home isn't there. When you graduate, it's like it's time to start work, right? Then you have some more pressure to bring money home. So the stress is there, but I think it will be, I will have more ammo to kickstart my career. I mean, kickstart my full-time career if I join earlier.
So it'll be something like once you hit 21, go and get an insurance license, be a full-time student and a part-time agent, advisor.
I will be a full-time basketballer, a part-time student, and a part-time insurance agent.
Okay. You must have time management skill. So we are coming to the end of the podcast. So with every interview, I'd like to end off with this question. What is your dream home like if money is not an issue, money is not a concern?
Money is always an issue, but okay. I would like to have space in my house, and I would like to have a space to do my hobby.
Which is a basketball court.
Yes, so my I mean, if you look at the Americans, they have a basketball court in their basement. That would be something ideal for me. That is from a personal perspective.
That will cost around 6 to 8 million in Singapore.
6 to 8 million to get a small size basketball court.
Like maybe a half court, then you will draw the lines yourself.
And then I would probably want to have space to maybe host guests. Whether or not I'm in this career, with being in this career, I would like to bring my team over, and if possible, a barbecue, and then just talk, play game, and then upstairs can sleep. My kids can still come down, interact with my friends, bring their friends over, play, and then they go out and sleep. So space is the biggest consideration.
So we haven't visualized a bit. I will just put a picture here. What he's saying, he just want to land it with a basketball court. So I'll just summarize. He just want to land it a very big area to host, to party, and a basketball court.
And also a space where I can isolate myself and have my own time. Man cave. I call it the man cave.
Okay, that's not very hard. That's not very hard. You can just do it in your current house now.
Now my house, the whole house is a cave.
Okay, so thanks for watching our first episode. Thanks, Samuel, for coming. And if you are keen to find out more about the financial advisor world, or you need more advice on what to do with your current life or how to plan for retirement, you can always hook up with Samuel. His IG will be his IG link. We'll just put it somewhere in the video. And we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you for watching Big House Small Talk. Help us like and share.